Oh, Tony, you done fucked up this time. I actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody. And now, ladies and gentlemen, WestleChat with Vince McMahon. Oh, hell yeah. We all remember the DVD, right? The self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. Well, there's a whole new one coming out. Yes, there is. Before we dive into this, of course, you know, I hate to be alone. I get lonely this way, so we're going to bring in my partner in crime, my sidekick, the one, the only, J-Rocks. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
All right, nice talking to you. See you later.
All right.
All right. So, nation, what do you want to talk about? There's this elephant in the room. Anyone seen him? He's about the size of a TV screen, black and white, grainy picture. Yeah. Listen, I want to be clear about something from the get-go. I don't hate AEW. I hate Tony Khan at this point because he is the antithesis of what we generally, I think, all want, which is to have option B. Even though the WWE is killing it right now, and I'm completely happy with the product, I think competition just makes it better. It's better for the athletes and performers. It's better for everyone. That said, AEW, if you're a fan and you don't want to accept this, then you're just drinking the Kool-Aid and you're going to drown in it. It's dying. It's dying. They're going to lose their TV contract. Laugh about it if you want. But when their Big Bang Theory reruns are out drawing their live show, why am I paying for a live show?
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense. All right. I can't believe there's anyone left in the world that's a wrestling fan that has not seen this. But just in case you haven't seen this, we're going to play the video. There is no audio to it. I may have to pause it occasionally because Tony, after making this very public, has gotten trashed. He has been smashed by people from AEW side, from all
across the board. Forbes even smashed him.
Oh, look at that. Now you're really making the papers when the Forbes is on your side. There was, I can tell you in a minute because I have the picture. I didn't have a chance to upload it, but I took a screenshot. YouTube channel is F4W Online, and he posted a poll saying, should AEW have aired the footage? And this was a couple hours back, had 14,000 votes. I feel that's a pretty good number, 14,000.
Yeah.
Out of 14,000, 87% said no, that the footage you're about to see, you should not have posted it, made it public. That can't possibly be, it's one of two things. If that's 87% of the people are WWE fans, boy, you in bad shape, buddy. So let's presume that's not the case. Let's say it's a 50-50 split between AEW fans, then you've lost more than half of your audience. I didn't want to do this yesterday because A, everybody was doing it yesterday, and B, I wanted some more information, which we have.
Right.
I was going to do one time, get it done, and be happy with it and say, okay, moving on. I think Tony said that, but then Will Ospreay came out and didn't move on.
No.
And by the way, all he did was guarantee he is never going to work for the WWE.
Well, did
What a schmuck.
you see her face during that whole segment? She looked like she wanted to fucking throw up.
Yeah, well, you know what? You chose to be on that side.
Yep.
All right, let's get this thing going here. This is the backstage footage over in UK during All In. You see Samoa Joe. Let me see. Yeah, you have Samoa Joe over here. Dumbass is over here. And CM Punk's going to come up over here. Now, behind the gorilla, you can't see it. You have Chris Hero right here. Right. And next to him, but off camera, is Tony Khan. So we're going to see the moment where Tony's life was in danger. Again, there is no audio because it's closed circuit TV. Right. You got referees, you've got agents, and here comes Punk. And now I would love to know what the actual conversation is, and I have to pause it. I'm sorry to do that, but Tony Khan has gone on a strike fest. He has struck every channel practically that's put this video out, with the exception of Denise Salcedo because she's got tits and she's dumb as a vacuum cleaner and probably sucks half the guys off. I don't know, but
yeah,
I've never really respected her as a wrestling correspondent of any kind, other than as some little fangirl that looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Right. I've a lot of guys that I watch and stuff that are, have been to the pressers and stuff after their shows. He's even hit them and they're like, what the fuck? You put it out. Why can't we, you made it public. So yeah. I think that's just a bullshit move.
There's a thing called fair use. So this video is completely covered by fair use. You can't call it a copyright because it's not your product. You did not orchestrate this. You did not film it. This is closed circuit television capturing an event that took place backstage. Realistically, if this is a public entity, meaning that if the government owns this facility, I don't know if they do or not, but if they do, then any citizen, even in England, same as ours, has the right to pull that footage. So Tony's right now in damage control because he has taken such a hit. Let's continue the video. So here comes the conversation. For context, I would love to know exactly what was said here, because I'll be the first one to say, no matter what someone says to you, you can't get physical, not first. But at the same time, I also know you might have stepped across a line, you might have pushed a button, and you needed your ass kicked. There are those that say he needed his ass kicked for what he did on live television.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And this is a locker room of wrestling, and this kind of shit happens all the time. And as every wrestler has said so far, this ain't nothing.
No, it's not.
And Samoa Joe is right there. And again, there's a word coming up here. Who knows what that word was? And I can't read lips on something that crappy. I even tried enhancing it. And there's a shove. There's a shove. Yeah. And he goes on. That's like 8 seconds. Here comes Chris Hero. By the way, Chris Hero, my God.
Oh, there's Tony's hand.
Yeah, he's holding the monitors. Correct. Yes, Tony's hand is holding the monitors. Chris Hero over here. Good Lord, he's let himself go. It's sad.
They're right.
Jim Cornette's over here talking about Paul Heyman. Man, let's talk about Chris Hero. And, of course, Hero and Punk have a long history together, so he's able to calm him down and back him away. Not to mention he outweighs him by 2 people, so what are you going to do? And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there. At what point in time is Tony's life in danger? I must have missed that part.
I guess when the monitor weighs more than you do,
It's like you're in the wrong business. You're a piece of shit little bitch. He's an absolute bitch. And he has lost it. How anyone will sign with him now. Because between what Triple H said about we don't want the people that are here for the easy job. We want people here for the grind. So between that and the fact that you just proved him right, your product's done, buddy. So the reason I didn't want to do this yesterday is I didn't have the numbers yet. I went and subscribed to WrestleNomics because this is driving me crazy waiting for Jim Cornette. And I said, and you can check on my Twitter, right after this thing posted, it was already on social media. So I knew it ran somewhere between 8:30, 8:45, which it did.
Right.
And I said at that moment, before any rating, the show was still going, look at my feed. I said, now watch how many TVs turn off right after that. Now, he was cool enough to do it in the 8:30 hour, 8:30 to 8:45 quarter hour. That leaves plenty of wrestling left to go. Let's see what happens. Well, guess what? 8:30 to 8:45. Where's my mouse? Come here. 8:30, 8:45, and All In Security. Okay. They were up 3 on the quarter hour. And for the 18 to 49 demographic, they were up 10. And he got the pop that he wanted. Let's see what happened right after it got done. Oops, down 7.
Right.
Down 5. Down 7 again. Down 10. Down 2, 1, 5. Eventually, you just run out of numbers to go down to. So did he get an 819 overall? Congratulations. You drew an 819, which is nothing to write home about, off of CM Punk, who's no longer your talent because you can't manage a fucking company.
Well, see, and the funny thing is, like I said, I had looked at a couple things earlier, and Tony had put out a tweet this morning saying, and it, just got the numbers from TBS, and basically he said they were up 29% from last week and up 17% over prior 6 weeks. And like you said, what's that say when you still only pulled 819?
And that's in the overall. He's not looking at, did the show get, you look at the WWE, and I didn't think to pull theirs up, but you look at the WWE, and they tend to grow as you get to the main event.
Right.
Theirs, and not just this episode, theirs dives.
Oh. Yeah.
Their main events have been tanking. And for Christian to come out, or Christian, for Edge to come out and say what he said, and again, Ospreay's a joke. I mean, he's an indie darling, and that's all there is to it. And there's nothing wrong with being that. But the idea is that you're supposed to be wanting to have a television program, and the idea behind that is that it's going to draw eyes because, well, again, like CM Punk said, they're not that kind of business. They're not worried about selling merch and making money and things like that.
Right. You want your product to grow, and and like you said, I don't hate AEW. I hate how it's become because
I
loved it when it first. Well, yeah, but it's like if they would just do what they needed to do to make the product better, I'd probably go back and watch it. But I'm not going to watch it while it's garbage. I'm just not.
Speaking of garbage, let's take a look. We're looking at the 18 to 49 category, right? So and that's really the only one they want, because if anyone's going to spend money on wrestling, it's generally that bracket. So you got 433,000 to start the show off because they want to find out. Well, half of those, let's not forget that 981 starting number is leftovers from the Big Bang Theory.
Right.
So again, how much of that? I'd like to see them run a rerun of Titanic and then see what their starting number is. Although that probably outdraw them too, so maybe that's not a good example. But let's look at that 18 to 49 demographic. So you got 433,000 to start the show to figure out what time they're going to show shit. Goes down to 410, jumps up right there for the video, 449. That is their peak. After that, 426, 384, 375, 372, 353, and done. You cannot hold an audience.
No.
And the reason you can't hold an audience is you have a shit product, and it's not the talent that's shit. Most of them have been proven.
Right. And when that happens, when you've spent literally millions in the last few months on talent to bring your ratings up, and that's still not doing it, you've got a serious fucking problem. And if you're too blind to see it, I hate to say it, but I give it a year. At this rate,
it'll be around longer than that because he's got the money. But I'll tell you what might not be around. I don't know what his contract time is on the TV side, but I can't imagine they're going to want to renew with those rates. And if they do, it's going to be for a lot less money.
Yeah.
But I honestly, with those ratings, shit, I'll just let the Big Bang Theory go another 2 hours.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll get better sponsorship money from those ratings than I'm getting from your crap product over here. We gave you time, buddy, but you're going the wrong way. And all of your top, again, this is what I said a week and a half ago. When people come out there, oh, Triple H couldn't sign this one. Oh, he didn't want to sign them.
No. No.
Because they're not the right people. We work in the WWE. There is a grind. Oh, and a cute thing. Oh, yeah, grinding on the boss's daughter. That's new. That's original. Guess what? Boss is long dead and gone, and he has taken it to a whole other level. So maybe he's actually part of the thing that was right about the product, even when the product wasn't doing so well. Maybe he actually does know his shit.
And Tony wouldn't be in the position he is if his dad didn't hand him a bunch of fucking money. So what's the difference?
How's about that? One thing I forgot to pull a picture of, and I'm pissed about it right now, but Kevin's got it. Not the picture, but there's a still photo of Tony Schiavone when they come back to the table after that video, and I swear to God, I have seen that face before.
Yeah.
That is that WCW, we are fucking done face.
Yep.
He's sitting over there thinking to himself, I wonder if Starbucks is hiring right now. He's going to go back to Baristaville.
And all in all, what's it say when your top draw is somebody who doesn't even fucking work for you? People tune into your show because you say you're going to show footage of a former employee whooping the shit out of a current employee, because we all know that his contract thing is a fucking work right now, Jungle Boy. So it's like when you've hired talent like Mercedes and Adam and Will, and they're not pulling the numbers you need, but yet you can show footage from 6 months ago of somebody you fired, and that pulls your ratings up. What the fuck are you doing?
And the best part is later on that night when they went out there, the Young Bucks, they were chanting CM Punk.
Yes, they were.
I'm like, you fucked up. And now the reports are coming out. And this again is why I wanted to wait one day. Now the reports are all coming out that they didn't want to do it. They did not want to show the video. They did not want to use that as part of the storyline, but he insisted. Then they said, fine, because we don't want to lose our EVP status.
Right. See, I've heard
they're
it both
all
ways.
just kids in a toy store. That's all they are, is kids in a toy store. Dad gave money to buy some toys and play.
I mean, I heard both with Will Ospreay too, that he didn't want to do the Triple H line. Tony said do it. But then again, I heard where he was on board from the get-go. It was his idea. So when it comes to that, I kind of take both sides with a grain of salt, because honestly, don't know if either of them how that all played out. So, but yeah,
Ospreay is such an untested pro. I mean, yeah, he's known in certain circles, but he could walk into any Walmart around here and 90% of the people aren't going to have a clue who he is. Not a clue. Seth Rollins, he can't do that. Triple H can't do that. Nope. So you're at WWE, where you are now a world famous star, or you're on AEW, where you're in the witness protection program because nobody watches. Alexander Arce says, hello, AEW makes 2000 WCW look like 86 Crockett. Yes. And how much does that say? But I agree. Right. As bad as 2000 WCW was, I mean, freaking all you got to do is watch Greed.
Yeah.
And right now, I would watch Greed again as opposed to the next episode of Dynamite. And by the way, Dynamite's got the ratings. Those are the ratings, that 700 number. You look at their other programs, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're under 400, 300, 200.
Right.
I'm pretty sure if I put this stream on TBS on whatever day these other shows are on, the fuck I know, right? Let's say it's a Wednesday. No, Wednesday's Dynamite.
Yeah.
Give me any other day of the week. And I got a funny feeling with just a couple of commercial spots, we'd pull 400. And they get a lot of commercial spots. I mean, they advertise the shit out of AEW and nobody watches.
Yep.
So
you have to think Triple H when that happened on Wednesday. He was just, I know he was sitting there going, my God, I didn't have to pay for this fucking publicity. You know?
Yeah.
He handed this to me on a silver fucking platter.
And here's the best part. For people like Mercedes,
Yeah.
who thought she was going to stick it to them. You stuck it to yourself, you dumbass. She thought by going to AEW and working there a little bit, now I'll be able to ask for more money. You want more money? Stay where you are.
Yeah.
She's got to be regretting this already.
I don't know. I honestly believe that her conversation with Triple H was probably, she asked for the money. He said no. She said, well, they'll pay me this. He's like, go ahead. Go collect that money. Then when you come back to us, you can work for the lesser amount, and it's not going to hurt you. That's what I think happened with that.
It wouldn't hurt you anyway. That's the thing. First off, it's not a lesser amount. The WWE has always been about the more you can make, the more you will make. So if you get over and you sell merch, let me talk to you.
Right.
Okay. All of a sudden, you can get pushed into a main event they didn't want you in. If you have what it takes. And this is where I get back to Will Ospreay doesn't have confidence in himself. That's why he went with that offer. Guaranteed, big money, little work schedule in comparison. I don't think I can make it in the WWE.
And, I mean, going back to the show quality itself, it's like her Mercedes promo on Wednesday looked like it was shot in a Walmart fucking bathroom. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, come on. This is supposed to be the CEO, you know, Miss Monet. Why aren't you portraying her like that? Why you got it against a blank white fucking brick wall and not send that a fucking, you know, do like they've been doing on WWE with the kind of like the theatrics of put her in a fucking high-end restaurant and shit. Build that character you're not doing shit for.
Because they're not going to spend the money on a camera crew or a writing team that's going to come up with that shit. You look at the changes since right before Mania and now with the whole WWE product. They had when Liv attacked Rhea backstage with the chair, threw it at her head, which came across well.
Yes, it did.
It was a single camera shot that followed that, went down a corridor, saw some other stuff going on, and right back out into the crowd. One smooth camera all the way through. This is the WWE bringing their game to the next level.
Right.
AEW shooting in a bathroom on a white wall. Because the WWE has the best. They go out and get the best. Tony could get better. He could get better. He's got the money.
Yeah.
But Tony's Booker of the Year. Why would he want to? Uncle Dave told him he's Booker of the Year. Your picture froze up.
I know.
Well, I'll fix that.
I'm trying. I do. My screen went black. So I can hear you.
You're just frozen on my end. You ain't black.
Okay. Well, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think Warner Brother Discovery is holding off on a renewed deal for AEW because we are in April and zero news about their future with TBS TNT past year. And there goes Jay. He'll be back, I'm sure. Yeah. God dang it. How can you screw this up this bad with that kind of money and the talent you have? That is what I cannot get over. I mean, you'd have been better off. But again, his problem is this. This really, I mean, when people make the analogy that he's just a kid playing in a toy box with a bunch of toys that his dad bought him, it's really accurate. That's what's happening. He's just doing it on a much larger scale than any of us ever had. And he ain't going to tell anyone. No one's going to tell him how to play with his toys. Miracle X, Sasha sees herself on the level of a top star. Well, if that were true, she'd be in the WWE. Yeah. Because that's where the top stars are. That's where Rhea Ripley is. That's the top star in women's wrestling. There's no arguing that. Numbers don't lie. She knows that she's not on the page of Rhea Ripley.
And when you've got other women wrestlers echoing that sentiment going, yes, she is the best in our business right now.
That's for you.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, she left the WWE when she was one of those people.
Yeah.
And I think a part of her not going back is she knows she's not, and she won't be. Too many talents there. You got Raquel Rodriguez now. You got, obviously, Rhea Ripley now. And friggin' Tiffany Stratton. Gosh damn it, she ain't in Tiffany's league.
Yeah.
She's not even close to
Right.
Tiffany. And I think she realized that. Well, let me go over there with Paige with the broken neck, who I already put her out once. I can do that again.
Yeah, I mean,
Alexander, you're going back to my times as well here. Even the AWA's final days tried their best, unlike AEW.
yeah.
Okay, when we talk about AWA's final days, all I remember is they were trying to play football in a wrestling ring for points.
Oh God.
Do you remember this shit? They put on a helmet and pads and put like a line from one corner to the other, and you had to try and like get the football across to the other. And I'm like, the fuck is this guy doing wrestling? It was embarrassing. You had squads too. Like Slaughter had a team, Larry Zbyszko had a team, and I don't remember, there was like 2 other teams. Maybe Baron Von Reschke had a team, and every week was some different stupid thing that had nothing to do with wrestling. They had choir points and all, and it was their death knell right there, man. That was ESPN, and the ratings went straight to hell. I think Vince Sr. and Jr., Dusty Only, Fritz, Gary Hart, that's a list. Watts, Graham, Jarrett would have gave CM Punk a raise and fired Jack Perry on the spot.
Oh, fuck yeah, they would have.
Look, firing Jack Perry on the spot pretty much goes without saying at this point. Now they think, oh, this worked, man. We're getting him over. We're getting Perry over. He sold most shirts for Scapegoat. If you think in your right mind that Jungle Boy Jack Perry is ever going to sell a main event ticket, I know you're voting Democrat. I'm sorry. Got to say it. Nobody with a mind that works even reasonably well looks at Jack Perry and says, ooh, that's money. There's no money there.
See, I saw that same thing earlier where it said that he sold those shirts and stuff like that, and somebody was saying
sold out of them. You know, they didn't tell you they only made 100.
Right. But I'm thinking you've got a guy that came from WWE, Swerve, who got himself over, is going to be their first black champion. Are you really going to take the title from Swerve to put it on Jack?
I'm sorry, Swerve is the world champ?
He's going against Samoa Joe. He is going to beat Samoa Joe at the next pay-per-view, and Swerve is going to be their first black world champion. Yes.
So let's even talk about this. And I can't say a whole lot about it because I have not watched the product. So I don't know what Swerve's doing. I know what he did, and I'm not saying he was bad, but in the WWE, had he stayed, is he going to even be in the chase for the world championship?
Probably not, but the way I will say this, the way he changed his character when he went to AEW.
Congratulations. Because nobody else is going to AEW and changing their damn character. Rated R superstar.
Right. But he has gotten himself to the point where the fans took to him. It was that we wanted to root for the heel, and he basically became that anti-hero type deal. And so the point was, I can't see them taking the title off of him, because if they take the title off of him after he beats Samoa Joe and put it on Perry, just lock your fucking doors, send everybody home, because it's fucking game over.
It's game over already. It really is. I mean, at this point in time, he would have to hire recognized names in the industry that know what the fuck they're doing and say, I am stepping aside from the booking. I'm paying the bills. I'm signing the contracts. I'm working on the TV deals. But I realize that I need a real writing team in here because our stories are not compelling. All we're doing is throwing matches in the ring that we think, again, he's a kid playing with toys. I want to see this wrestler fight this wrestler. That's it. There's no stories So look what they tried doing with the fucking Punk video. They're trying to use that as a story bridge for the Young Bucks against FTR.
Right.
Because we were busy dealing with our EVP stuff, we weren't ready for our match in England. And oh my God, that's how you're going to bridge this shit?
Right.
If that's your best attempt at writing, call Vince Russo. He'll do better. He'll do better. Now, he won't do good, but he'll do better. Bro, the problem, bro, is you didn't put a pole up, bro. You got to, have a pole, bro. Once everybody climbs a pole, ratings go up. Up with the pole, bro. Put ratings on a pole match, bro. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to keep doing that because it cracks you up.
It sounds just like him. That's the bad part. Oh.
But it's the truth. He
You're
would
right.
do better than Tony Khan. That's probably the only human being in wrestling that he would do better than.
Right.
They'll put it on Osprey before putting it on Petty. And again,
I hope you're right. But
to quote Tony Schiavone, that'll put asses in the seats.
Right.
You look at the quarter-hour ratings for Osprey match. It ain't doing nothing. Look at the quarter hours for Mercedes. Went down. These are not needle movers. And then you bring a couple that could have been. And then you go to Toronto and Christian and Edge can't sell 8,000 tickets.
No shit. Where they're going to be, WWE's Raw is going to be what? Montreal next week, and I guarantee
Hold out.
Sammy and fucking Chad is going to blow the fucking roof off that place.
People like Will Ospreay never wrestled in the 80s, 90s. He wouldn't have been able to wrestle. There were men then. 300-day road schedules. Yeah. None of these people. Right. None of these people nowadays. Nobody in that AEW locker room has it. Right. They could not survive. They have to have their work-life balance and all that, which I'm a big fan of that too, but I'm not making millions.
Right.
I'm not seen on national television on a regular basis to the point where people want to stop you for autographs, stuff like that. That's a price that you pay.
Right.
So they want all the upside, but they don't want the downside. So go to AEW, where you will never be in a mummy movie and you will never be in, any movie.
Right.
Or you go to the WWE, where if you have what it takes, you can be on The Mandalorian. By the way, Sasha, when was the last time you were on The Mandalorian? Oh, yeah, just that one time. Because you're irrelevant now.
She was actually in 2 seasons, but,
Oh, was she? Well, that's because I gave up the service by that point.
Right, that's what I figured.
Kevin Sullivan would have got Jack Perry getting the face of Haku instead of CM Punk. Yeah. That's the old saying, 2 hits. I hit you, you hit the floor.
Yep.
Here we go. Miracle X. I'm from Toronto. I didn't even want to go. I mean, what does that say?
Right.
These are 2 of the most popular Toronto currently active Canadian wrestlers. I mean, the Hearts are all done. Trish is done. What else you got left? Ospreay's with Callis. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either, but
I guess you'd have to watch it. I'm not going to go down that road. Oh, D-Train! Mercedes is not wrestling until May. Just going to do promos. I'm a Mercedes fan, but seriously.
Right. No, that's
in the ring
it.
A little bit to draw interest. Yeah, because the thing is, Mercedes can do a promo on par with somebody like Dusty, so you can get away with that. She'll talk them into the seats. That's bullshit, by the way. Her promos suck. And I'm not saying that because she didn't go to WWE. There was a part of me didn't want her to go. I did for storyline purposes, but she's a bitch. She reeks of bitch. I'm sure if you're in her circle, she's fine. But I've talked to people, and I know sometimes fans outside of wrestling, when they run into these people, they can be over the top and, in the middle of a meal, hey, can I get a selfie? I get that. And
Right.
you're not going to be necessarily polite to those assholes. But I've talked to people who have run into them in maybe a nightclub or, some places having a drink and just, hey, how's it going type of thing, and got shut down. Yeah, maybe you have walls put up or something like that. But I'm just saying, big part of this job is being approachable.
I remember sitting in the bar in
Tony
New York.
Khan's Titanic toy chest hit the iceberg and it's starting to sink.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the bar probably about 2000 in New York, down on St. Mark's, and Bubba Ray and Devon came in, bought the whole place around, signed autographs. They were very just,
It's the way you do it. They're professionals. They get it. One King Entertainment next week, AEW to release the footage of Y2J and Kylie Ray.
Oh, ooh.
Again, I don't watch the product. I don't keep up with the product. What's up with that?
Okay, so when Jericho was going on about, I've never signed an NDA in his life.
Okay.
They come to find out there was an incident where he supposedly, according to Kylie Ray, she was told by like producers and stuff that there was going to be a party up in Jericho's room and everybody was going to be there. So she said, okay, I'll go. When she got up there, Jericho was just there by himself, dropped trowel, and that whole scenario.
And was there a party?
No, just in his pants, I guess.
No, I'm saying, did she party with him? Or did she turn around and leave? Okay.
She turned around and left. And when she went to Tony Khan, he made her sign an NDA, and she was released shortly after.
Yeah. That sounds like a Tony move.
Yeah. Trust me, I like Kylie Ray. Good looking girl. Don't want to see Jericho. Don't want to see Jericho. And I don't barely want to see him in wrestling tights right now. So
Tony Khan wants to be everyone's friend and hug. Triple H is about business and respect. And that said, Triple H still give you a hug.
No, but he expects you to do your fucking job. He's not there to make friends. He's there to do a job.
Tony doesn't hug you like, man, I appreciate what you're doing for me. He hugs you like, Daddy. When he was hugging CM Punk before one of the early pressers, I'm like, oh my, you could even see it on CM Punk's face. Like, the fuck, man? It's like a dog's humping his leg. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at here? You're the owner of the company. Why are you hugging him like my hero?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There is a difference between like if you I saw a footage of Damian Priest today when he came backstage and everybody was congratulating him. Triple H came up, gave him the pat on the back, said good job and everything. All done. Tony Khan gets a hold of you. It's like a fucking octopus and you can't fucking be let go. And I think that's part of the cocaine that's coursing through his veins on a 24/7. Is like he wants to be all touchy-feely. And it's like, that's a creeper vibes, but hey.
Yeah. All right. Well, I promised to keep this one short today because I'm going to try and get another stream going here for the most recent episode. I did a lot of work yesterday that I didn't get around to doing. Dr. D, David Schultz should have slapped Perry instead of John Stossel in 84. Oh, God damn it. I tell you what, Dr. D could do that today and still knock the snot out of that little prick.
No shit.
And by the way, John Stossel and Tony Khan right now, they're the same pussy. They're the same pussy. I think this is fake. Oh, my God, he hit me. Of course he hit you. You're a fucking idiot. All right, last one, then we're going to wrap here. Speaking of things WrestleMania related, are you shocked that Rollins is no longer champion? No. I knew he wasn't going to win.
Right.
He's banged up. He's injured. He's tired. He's done his thing. He made the belt as good as it can be for what we all know is a second place belt. And, time is good. He might come back for a couple of one-offs here and there, but I don't imagine him doing a full run anymore. I think he's good. And good for him. He's done a lot. He's had a good, 15-year career in the WWE? Not counting on what he did before that.
Right.
And not for anything, I remember when he came into NXT, and I'm thinking to myself, this ain't going to work. You remember that entrance he used to do in NXT where he's like flailing his arms around? I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's having a seizure. But like I said, he found a way to make it work.
Yeah.
So more power to him. Yeah, they're parents now. I think they're ready to be parents.
Yeah.
I definitely got the vibe that was her last match. Again, might come in for a one-off here and there.
And who's to say they don't, because they have a home in Florida. Who's to say they don't start working down at the Performance Center?
Sure. A lot of people seem to like going that route once they get done with the in-ring work. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot to be said for developing the next generation of anything that you do if you can train it up.
Yep.
You know, one of the things that they asked Triple H in one of the recent Mania press conferences about was, did you think about getting involved in that last match and, coming in at some point in time? He's like, I don't need to do that. He says, let me explain something to you. I did all this stuff, right? And now I'm at the part where I get to help other people achieve that goal. And the rush I get from that is better than when I was in the ring doing it myself. And I can tell you what, I played sports all through middle school, high school. Once I got into my 20s and into my 30s, I was still playing hockey, not at an elevated level or anything, but I was still competitive. I was still active. I was out there playing, won some, lost some, had some really good games, went home feeling pretty good. Then I got into coaching. And I am telling you right now, the feeling that I got from a player that I got that didn't know nothing when I met them to 5 months later able to do something that I know I taught them to do, and it helped them win a game. That rush was so much better than any of the best games I ever played. So I get exactly where he's at, and I understand why he ain't leaving that. And like he said, why run the risk? He's got a pacemaker.
Right.
He probably doesn't need it, but it's there. Why would I want to run the risk of unplugging it?
Yep.
For what? So, no, I'm not surprised. As a matter of fact, I do see Seth riding off into the sunset. He might come out and do like a little one-off or something like that. Once The Rock ends up officially turning on Roman, maybe there'll be like a mini Shield reunion. Who by that time, maybe they'll be able to even get Ambrose in if they can stop the bleeding. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for stopping by to check out WrestleChat and the self-destruction of the AEW. Tony, you do it to yourself, buddy. I don't want to see AEW go. I just want to see you go. So maybe somebody will buy them out somehow and save them from themselves. But if your owner is the one driving the ship straight into the iceberg.
What are you going to do?
I'm grabbing a lifeboat and I'm getting the fuck off. As they said in Titanic, well, the rats know which way to go. I'll follow them.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you again right back here for more WrestleChat. So long. Actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man. I would say, like, for me, like the best ones, I would say are like the ones where they try to get a certain like time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody.